Hey folks, it's Dave back with another Shootout Hockey video. Today we're taking a look at the team cards. So let's get right down to the rink and look at the team cards. Again, it's going to be Boston St. Louis from 69-70. And let's start off on the left with Boston. The first thing you'll notice, it's got the city name with the team colors. I love the colors on the cards. I really do. It's another one of my favorite things about the game is just the colors of the cards. They jump out at you, and when you print these in full color, they're fantastic. So again, it's the NHL season, the 69-70 season for Boston on their team card. And we have the home and away ratings that we talked about in our setup video. And as you can see, home has a split rating where you'd roll a 1d6 to determine if they're A or B. And with away, you would roll again if they're away, 1 to 6. 1 to 3 would be a D, and 4, 5, and 6 would be an E. So again, they have the home and away rolls there. Now let's take a look at our skaters. Now they're broken down into lines. As you can see, we have line 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the offensive lines. And then defensive lines 1, 2, and 3. And then we have a couple of guys on the bench. Once in a while, you'll have a bench with a symbol, and that's going to refer you to a sheet that comes with that season to show you all the extra players and extra goalies for that team, because not everybody would fit on the card if there was a lot of players that were in and out of that roster. So once in a while, you will need to refer to the sheets that come with the season to find the extra players on the bench. In this case, they're on the bench over here. As you can see with St. Louis, it says reserves. So if you were to roll an N, you would have to go to the reserves on that sheet I was talking about that comes with the season to determine which player would get the scoring opportunity. Anyway, let's go back to the top of the Boston card. So let's go to line 1. We have Cashman, Esposito, and Hodge. Those are our skaters. It shows you their positions, left wing, center, and the right wing. It's kind of how they're broken down, left at the top, right at the bottom. The same with the defensive lines. You see Bobby Orr, his left defense, and Dallas Smith is right defense. SC, those are our scoring chances. So all the numbers of the letters in red here, those are our scoring chances. So if we were to have a scoring chance and then we flip a card, you see under who over here on the right-hand side, it says A. You would look for the letter A, and that is Phil Esposito. Now, obviously, the players who had the most scoring chances, the most goals in a season, the most points, things like that, they would have the better letters or more letters. So as you can see, Esposito has 2 letters. Hodge has 2 letters. There's a lot of guys here that had 2 letters. And then you get down to the defensemen aside from Orr, and there's a lot of single letters down here. Same with St. Louis. Their better guys have 2 letters. So that means there's more of a scoring chance, more of a chance for them to get points. And then over here, as you get down to line 4 in the defenseman, it gets down to single letters. And in fact, some guys even have a dash, which means they can't score a goal unless it's a special or a rare play. Okay, so if they have a dash here, chances are they're not going to get a scoring chance unless you get some kind of a rare play. So that's what the dash means. Moving over here to the A column, this is your assist. If there's any assist modifiers, okay, Cashman doesn't have any modifier. Esposito has all, meaning that if either Cashman or Hodge scored, he would automatically get an assist. Or if a defenseman scored and line 1 was out there, he would also get an automatic assist. So Esposito gets an all. There are also things like 6 in R5. Bobby Orr has both 6 in R5. It just means like if you flip the assists over here and it said 6 or R5, you would default to this rather than the position. Red Berenson also has a 6 R5 for St. Louis. And you notice Johnny McKenzie for Boston just has the R5 instead of both. And nobody else here has any modifiers. XL, what that means is that if the line gets assists, so in other words, if Orr were to score and we rolled line, like it says over here, Dallas Smith would not automatically get the assist. The only way Dallas Smith would get the assist if it specifically said right defenseman. Okay? And let's see. So then we have the penalties in blue, the penalty ratings. So you can see these are letters here. Cashman is a V, Esposito is a W, Hodge is a Z. And then next to that column here, you can just barely see it. Those are your fight ratings, okay? And they'll be 1 to 5. Now, Boston only has 3, 4, and 5 this season. They do not have a 1 and a 2 fighter. So if you were to roll and a fight would occur, it would tell you what numbers on each team. So let's just say it was 3 and 3. Then it would be Bobby Orr is the 3 fighter for Boston, and Barclay Plager is a 3 fighter for St. Louis. So they would be the players involved in that fight. Notice that if you get down here, we have a Y2 and an X2. That is different than a Y and an X. So as you can see, Bobby Orr is a Y, and Dallas Smith and Don Ari are both Y2. Okay, so those are different penalty ratings. So if we look over here, if we had rolled this card over here and it says Y, okay, that is different than Y2. So Orr would get the penalty, Bailey would get a penalty, but Mackenzie Smith and Don Ari, who have Y2, would not because it says Y. You can see we have a Z3 here as well over here on the fast action card. So keep in mind that you can have X, Y, and Z with a 2 or a 3 next to it, and that is different than just a single X, Y, or Z. Over here on the St. Louis side, nobody has a 2 or a 3. They're all just straight letter rolls here, RVX, as you can see. But Boston does have a couple of special characters, let's just say, on their team that have a Y2 and an X2. So let's, one other thing here, as you can see, Harrison here has the numbers sign. A number sign next to a player's name means he's going to appear on more than one team. Okay, that means he was either traded or moved or something that happened during the season. So he's going to be on more than one team card. He could be a starter, he could be a bench or reserve player. But if they have a number sign, that means that they played on more than one team. And what you're supposed to do is to make all the numbers come out is that he plays every game for Boston. So if you do a season replay, don't take him out. Keep him in every game. And according to his rating on the Bruins and whatever else team he's on, his stats should come out somewhat even playing on both teams, okay? The only time you wouldn't have him play is if the two teams that he appear on played each other head-to-head. Then you'd either roll a dice or flip or whatever to determine which team he would get stats for. So he couldn't get stats for both teams in that game, but he will get stats for both teams when they don't play each other all season long. One other thing I want to note, the lines here, again, there's no line changes in this game. The lines are predetermined, and they're set up in a certain way for a reason. Okay, they may not be the actual lines that were played for that season. Now, in this particular case, Cashman, Esposito, and Hodge, they did play together quite often, so they're together on that line there. But the reason it's set up this way is to get the stats correct. So the only way, the way the formula works in this game here is that to put Cashman, Esposito, and Hodge on line 1, whether they were on line 1 or not, that's how the game does it to get the stats correct, because you want these people getting the most points. Line 2 getting the second amount of points, and line 3 in the whole bit. So if you have a favorite team, you look and you say, well, these guys, they weren't on the same line very often. The reason for that is to try to get the stats correct in the game, if that makes any sense. All right. So we have our skaters, we have our positions, we have our scoring chances with the red here to see if they get the scoring chance. We have our assist modifiers, our penalty ratings, and then our fight ratings if they do have a fight rating. Now, let's take a look at our goalies. So down here we have the goalies. We have 2 for Boston, Cheevers and Johnston. And over here for the goalies for St. Louis, it's Plant, Wakely, and Hall. This S is your starting number, and we talked about this in the game setup video, whereas if you wanted to randomly determine which goalie started the game, you would roll the dice. 11 to 36 would be Cheevers, and anything above that to 66 would be Johnson. Over here for St. Louis, 11 to 32 would be Plant, 33 to 53 would be Wakely, and 54 to 66 would be Hall. So if you wanted to randomly determine the goaltender, we do have a start number. Obviously, the goalies that started more have more of a chance for the role to start, and the lesser goalies with less. But in this case, there's 3 for St. Louis and 2 for Boston. There's some goalies who only played a couple of games, and I think those goalies would be 66 only, so you'd have to roll box cards to get them to start if you did it random, but they still are available to play. And again, you can always just manually assign the goalie that you want. You don't have to necessarily roll. But that's what the S number is. Now, the defensive number, that is going to be the team defense. And we talked about that in the game setup video as well. Whereas, it's Cheevers has got a split role here. Not all goalies have a split role, but Cheevers and Johnson do, as well as the 3 St. Louis goalies here in 69-70. So we would roll a 1d6, a 1 or a 2, and Cheevers would be a C. Anything above a 2, and Cheevers would be a D. For Johnston, a 1 to 4, and he's a D. Anything above a 4, and he's an E. So that's how you would read that. And that would be your team defense. So off the top of the card, you determine the home and away, and you figure out what the offensive rating would be. And then down here, your goaltending rating would be your defensive rating. So you have team offense and team defense, and that's how you get your scoring range. Rebound. Over here on the right, you can see we have a rebound chart here on the fast action card. So if it's a shot and a save, and you can see over here on the card, it says rebound. So if you're shooting even strength from the blue line, and you had a rebound, then you would flip another card and check the number here. And it's going to tell you what the rebound number is. You have to beat the goaltender's number for the rebound to be a goal. So in this case, on no matter which goalie was in net, a 1 is not a good rebound rating. So that would be a save by every goalie here. A 4, 5, or 6 would be a goal on every goalie except for Hall. Hall, if you got a 3, would be a goal. So you got this rebound rating has to beat the goalie's rebound rating. So the higher the rebound rating, the more chance the goalie's going to make the save. Next to that is going to tell you who took the shot. In this case here, it's the original shooter. SH means original shooter. Now that it could say center, left wing, left D, right? It could say any of the 5 positions out there as well. So let's just say Wayne Cashman takes a shot. It's a save. You flip a card and it says center with the rebound. That means Phil Esposito got the rebound and he'll take the second shot. What I tend to do, again, a little tip and trick in what I do, is some goalies have a 6 rebound rating, which means you can't score on a rebound. There's nothing you can do because even if you roll a 6 in the rebound, it's going to be a save. So what I do in the case of a tie, so if, let's just say we were to roll the rebound here was a 3 and you were shooting on Chivas with a rebound, so he is a 3, you roll the 3, it's a tie. What I do is I go to a showdown roll, and I roll 2 dice head-to-head, D6, and 1 for the goalie and 1 for the shooter. If the shooter can beat the goalie on the showdown roll, I call it a goal. So if I have a rebound tie, I go to a showdown roll. If the shooter wins that, it's a goal. If it's a tie or the goalie wins, there's no save. The goalie makes the save on the rebound. So that's what I do on rebounds if there's a tie. The save rating, as you can see over here, if you were on the power play from the slot, you took the shot, the goalie has a chance to make a great save. So you would flip another fast action card and check the save number here, and each goalie has a different save rating. Chivas is 5 to 9, Johnson is 6 to 12. Over here, Hall has a split rating of 5 to 10 and 12. So over here on a save of 3, this would be a goal on every single goalie here because nobody has a save rating with the 3 in it. So that would be a goal no matter who is in net here, okay? So that's how you would use the save rating in there. And then at the bottom of the card, you have the team record, just to give you an idea how they did on that season. Actually, these teams are pretty identical, 40 wins and 37 wins. So St. Louis had a pretty decent year, I got to say. And that's why they got to the finals. But anyway, so that's a quick look at the team cards here in Shootout Hockey as I come back to my Studio B here. And hopefully that clarified a few things here on the team card, as well as a couple of ways that I play, especially the rebound. So we'll be back with another video shortly. I'm Dave. Bye-bye.